Welcome in to the Leap Leadership Institute podcast with Ryan Bouda. Today, we're going to look at something that I think we oftentimes see as out of our control, when in reality, we are actually in immense control of this thing. And so we're going to be looking at our energy today. I think it's something that it's not food that's sustaining our energy. It's not sleep. It's not, oh, my husband, my wife, my kids hugged me goodbye. Oh, I had an easy day at work. Oh, we didn't get any bad feedback. None of that. No, this is the idea that we choose our energy. We choose how we show up. We choose actively how we really want to be perceived by others. And so we're going to do a little activity just to start. I know, whether you're in a car, you're folding laundry, or you're at the office, right? You're on a walk. Here's all I want you to do. Take 10 seconds without changing anything and take a quick scan of your body and your energy. Start at your toes all the way up through your head. Check in with your shoulders. Are they slouched? Check in with your exhaustion level, with your frustration. Check in with your posture. And if you're like most of us, I have a feeling that it's a little bit groggy, a little bit slouchy, right? So many of us, slouch as we sit. I was just running right before this, ran home from the gym, and I could see myself as I was running. Like I could feel it. I'm running. I'm tired. I could feel my back arch and my shoulders arch. And as soon as I mentally saw that, and I made a little shift in my energy to something we're going to do right now, it made a huge difference. So just play with me here for a moment. Wherever you're sitting, standing, working, whatever you're doing, take 10 seconds. All I want you to do, put your shoulders back, have your chest out just a little bit. Take a couple big deep breaths. Okay, shoulders are back. Let your arms flow a little bit. Shake them out a little bit. Shake them out. And then I want you to do what we're going to call a power move. We'll talk more about this later. Just one little fist raise, yeah, or a little bit of clapping, or a little bit of just some movement. Okay, some sort of little power movement in your arms. Okay, and I just want you to do that. So take a big breath, shoulders back, and give us one power movement. Okay, I hit my microphone. One power movement. And then I just want you to pause and check in with yourself again. Okay, check in with yourself. What do you notice? What do you feel? What are you experiencing in this moment, right? This is what we're intending to do, to start to check in with ourselves and see our energy and see it for what we're actually capable of doing, regardless of what's happening around us. I think so often we think about our energy like, did I get enough sleep last night? Did I eat healthy enough? But the truth is, when it comes to energy, I think, nobody's ever gone to a Thanksgiving meal and after been like, I want to go run a marathon, right? Nobody's taken this long nap in the middle of the day and woken up and been like, man, I'm so ready to go. Usually, what are we? Groggy, right? And so we have this ability to take control of our energy. Yes, we need sleep. Yes, we need food. Yes, we need those things. But I want us to think about taking more ownership and more control over our energy or our attitude or how we're showing up to something. So that's what we're going to do a little bit today, okay? We're going to take a look at energy and really start to understand a little bit about how that works. So give me one moment to just welcome you in one more time to the Leap Leadership Institute podcast here. My name is Ryan Bouda. I am a professional and personal development coach and trainer. And I tell people all the time, my passion in life to help every single person live their most fulfilling, right? Their most satisfying life. Just live the best version of themselves. And so if you're here today, I hope that as we walk through today, you can walk away with at least one thing that you can really implement in your life that'll just take that next level, that next little leap forward in what we're doing. So I'm with Leap Training and Coaching. Thank you so much for being here. And please subscribe, rate, review, send me a note, share with a friend, all those wonderful things to help us continue this amazing mission here. So as I said, energy is really a choice that we're going to make. And we're going to understand that as we start to look at this kind of model. So I want to give credit here. This was a model that started to hone out over the last 10 years of work, but it kind of rang true as soon as I heard it from Tony Robbins. So went to one of his trainings and saw the model, and it laid out exactly how I already teach people this model. So I love it. So it's kind of an adaptation from him, but it uses these three frameworks. So what it basically is that so many times we start with a strategy, right? So let's talk about the workplace. We have an employee who isn't doing very well. We need them to have better performance, right? What do we typically do? We look at strategy. Should we move them under a new leader? Should we put them on a performance improvement plan? Should we change the type of work they're doing? Should we change the type of deadlines that are set? We look at strategy. The thing that we miss, though, when we look at strategy is that if our attitude, our energy, our state of being is what we're going to call it, is not in the right place, then that strategy isn't going to be successful. So I'll give you a really easy example for most of us. Most of the time when we want to eat healthy, work out, live a fit life, right? We look at strategy immediately. We go, which diet, which exercise routine am I going to try? If it doesn't work, I blame the diet, exercise routine, and move to the next one. Okay. And so I'm looking only at strategy. And I've lived this life before, right? I'm trying to find the next thing that's going to work better for me. But what we do is when we step back and start with something we're going to call mastering our state of being. Okay. Mastering our state of being, meaning it's based on our being, how we're showing up, the study of ontology, okay, how we show up and be. And the beauty of that is we can choose how we're going to show up and how we're going to be. And how amazing is that? How amazing would it be to know that you can choose those things that you're going to hear in this podcast, that there is no time that we ever talk about something like, oh, our personality, or that's just the way I am. No, we can choose what we're going to do, how we're going to live our life, how we're going to treat people. And so that's what you're going to do. You're going to learn today about mastering our state of being so that we can make tremendous changes in our life and in our relationships. So that's what we're doing. We're stepping back there. And going back to our kind of analogy here, when I did that for myself, when I stepped back and realized that my state of being, my energy about working out, about eating healthy was negative. My shoulders were down. I was kind of like this, like just, and if you're not watching on YouTube, just slouching, just a little down. You're just like, oh man, do I have to go to the gym today? The same is true, by the way, with the employee who we need to improve and support as a leader. We sit in our office and we think, oh man, this employee is a pain in my butt. I cannot believe I have to talk about this with them again. Right? And so putting those shoulders back, taking a big breath and saying, I am so excited to help this person today, to go work out, to take care of my body, to whatever it is, right? So our energy is really going to matter. Okay. And what I want you to understand about the state of being side of the energy is that it's that choice of how we're going to actually show up. So I kind of want to spend a moment looking at an example in teams. Okay. So in a team, I think that at times we look at it and we go, okay, this is who the person is. And so I knew for me, I used to lead all my teams, all those wonderful things. But I was one of those people who was a perfectionist. And I would always call myself, I'm a perfectionist. That's why I don't want to work with anybody, or that's why I always redo what they do, or don't really give them any potential, right? And sure, yeah, that's how I learned to be a team member. But then you take a moment and you recognize that in mastering our state of being says, I have the choice of how I do that. I don't get to say, oh, I'm just a perfectionist. Oh, I just want it my way. Oh, this is how I lead. I say, how do I want to help my team, the people I get to work with, feel that they're contributing to this project? Make sure that I'm hearing them, hearing their value, hearing their input, right? Hearing their ideas. And by doing that, we had to start with how we show up and how we be. And the very first thing that I recognized for myself was energy, was when I walked into the team meeting. Immediately I had two forms of energy, either down energy, just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I know that this person isn't going to have finished their stuff, whatever it is. Or overly heightened energy, which is overly tense. And that was where I was already frustrated about the situation. And I imagine as leaders, right? We have that same moment happen with an employee. They're absent all the time and we have to talk to them. And the first thing it's frustrated at them, right? We're frustrated. Like, why can't they just do this? And that's where we have to go back to our energy, to how we're showing up. And so I made this conscious choice. I'm going to put my shoulders back. I'm going to take this big, deep breath. I'm going to be so excited to work with these people. I'm going to go in. I'm going to say, I wonder what I can learn today. I wonder how I can get along with people. I wonder how I can help them be their best contribution. All of those ideas. And as I implemented those into my teams, okay, it made a transformational difference in how others were interacting with me, all because of how I showed up, my energy, right? And so that's what I want us to understand here, is that this energy we're talking about today is activated from within us. Okay, it comes from within. It's this deep choice to show up in the moment. So I'll use one last example to give you some techniques, okay? Because that's what I want to end with. I want to end with these 5 techniques that we can use. So this example will lead us directly into the techniques, okay? So the first thing that I want to kind of share is like something that's very normal to me, which is coming to a corporate training, right? I'm usually the trainer, but what is our energy like as we walk into a corporate training? Because this has been my experience. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I have to be here. This is a total waste of my time. I'm never going to learn anything. This should be for that person over there. All those things, right? And the very first thing I do in every training is I have them raise their hand. And I say, hey, raise your hand right now if you're concerned that this is going to be a waste of time, right? I usually get maybe 50% raise their hand, a few more smile at me or chuckle. And I always tell them the same thing. Since you know that, you can now do something about it, right? Since you know that, you can now do something about it. So as soon as you're aware right now, in this moment that you're pausing, recognizing your language, body language, recognizing your energy level, you have a choice. We can own the moment. We can shift the energy right here and now because we're aware of it. We don't say, oh, I'm tired because it was that person's fault. I'm frustrated. I'm low energy. I'm exhausted from my day because I've had so many clients complain at me. No, we don't do that. We make a choice to own our way of showing up and our energy, and we can do something with it. And so I just ask you, will the person who shows up to my training who has a little bit of a closed body language, a little bit of a low energy, are they going to get anything out of it? And the answer is no, nothing all the time, because no matter what is shared in that moment, they're going to go, I already know that. Or that's not really useful, right? But the person who makes the energy shift to say, I am excited to find out what I can learn here. I'm excited. I'm bringing some energy. Oh yeah, I'm good to go. What can they get when they lean in and they bring energy? And they'll find something. They'll find something of value. And that's the thing about all relationships. Every meeting you're scheduled, every time you get to round on your staff, round with your teams, be a part of a project update, pause and look at your energy. And these are the 4 things that we do to teach energy shifts. The first one comes from Patrick Davis. He has been my longtime coach. He is amazing. If you're ever looking for a wonderful person to work with on personal and professional development, I always recommend my coach, Patrick Davis. So Patrick has this thing called the SAW method. I know he'd love for me to share it with you all. And it's this breathing technique. And it goes SAW, like saw. And I'm going to explain it and then we're going to do it real quick. It is to shift on our breath for 30 seconds. We pause and we just breathe for 30 seconds. A lot of people close their eyes for that 30 seconds. Then with the A in your mind for that next 20 seconds, you shift and appreciate. Okay, you shift and appreciate something. Your life, something around you, something someone contributed, the smell of the air, whatever it is. And the W is to wait in quietude. Wait in quietude for just 10 seconds. Try to do an emptiness of our mind and just a calmness that we have. And it's a resetting mechanism. So we're going to do it right now. So no matter what you're doing, if you have 60 seconds, all I want you to do is take just a moment right here. We're going to reset ourselves. So we're going to take 60 seconds and I want you to start shifting on your breath. I just want you to breathe for 30 seconds. In and out. And a big one in, fill all the lungs. And back out. And I want us to do one big more. And back out. Now, for 20 seconds, I want you to really focus your brain on appreciation. Find something in your world around you to appreciate. Continue your breathing. Close your eyes like me if you'd like. Make sure your shoulders are back, sitting upright. And now I just want you to take 10 seconds to wait in quietude. Okay. Now I will say this, who felt uncomfortable in that 10 seconds while they're waiting for me, right? How do you feel about your heart rate, right? What do you see? Immediately for me, brings my heart rate back down to a normal, usable level, right? It is a habitual check-in. Um, Patrick Davis, as I said, always recommends we do it a minimum of once a day. But if we can make it something that, hey, when we're stressed out, when we go home from work, when we start our day, that we just take 60 seconds as we're driving the car and breathe, it will make tremendous differences in the way that your energy is. So that's one thing we can do, right? The SAW method, a little breathing. Second thing, the second thing I talk about is, and you can do this sitting, absolutely. And so I just want you to do the same thing we did before. Shoulders come back, chest opens up, shoulders come back, and we do a little power move. Okay. A little power move. It's just a little bit of yes. Yes, I know you're not looking at me if you're on your podcast, but just put your hands in the air and throw a fist out there and just clap yourself up and yeah, let's go. And I just want you to take a moment, put your shoulders back, big deep breath, and give me one power movement. Okay. That's all we're going to do. And you're going to say, yes, yes, as you do it. Ready? Breathe in, shoulders back, and just yes, yes. And that's all we're doing there. Just do it a couple times for yourself. I promise you, you will not be mad anymore, right? That energy, that shift, that how we feel all shifts within our body. We are doing things by taking the SAW method, doing our power pose, our shoulders are back, our strong, powerful movement. This is neurobiological rewiring we're doing. We're purposely activating the brain and the body along with these methods. We're slowing down the heart rate, but sometimes we're increasing it to get our energy in it. It's all part of this rewiring we do, and you will feel so much better by doing it. Now, the third one is something I literally do in this room. Okay. I'm by myself in this room. And so it's a move with purpose. And so for me, I'll get up just in the space behind me and just walk around for the moment. Just same power movement ideas. I'm just like, okay, I've got this. Okay, we're going to have a good day. Okay, I am going to make those calls. Okay, I am going to have this wonderful training session. Just something you give yourself a little energy. Like, you know what? I'm going to send out those foundation letters, right? You know what? I'm excited to have my all staff meeting. Let me pump myself up a little bit. And you just walk around a little bit. Maybe you do, go for a walk, whatever it is. But I want you to be mindful. Shoulders are back. Big open posture, big breaths in our body. We are excited. We are energized. We are building it for ourselves through our power movements. So continue to do that. I literally do it in this room. Yeah, I feel a little goofy at times, but I get the energy from it. And that's what matters to living that fulfilling life, to being a really empowering, excellent leader that we strive to be. It's how we're showing up. Last thing, and everyone is going to laugh at this one. They're going to think it's silly. No one's going to want to do it, but a mini dance party. Yes, I am being very, very serious. We do a mini dance party. I'm saying pick your favorite music, turn it on, and nobody can be mad while dancing. Okay. I do this in trainings with 30, 40 people. And at the beginning, a couple people are just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And by the time we get up to them and we're like, okay, it's your turn to step out. Let's go. And a little bit of dancing. And I'm, by the way, a horrible dancer. I have no rhythm whatsoever. Anyone who knows me knows that, and that's okay. But we can have a little fun, a little joy. Just turn on a favorite song. And so whether you're in your office, you're setting the meeting agenda, and you're starting a meeting on Zoom or in person, and you just turn on a little music. Let a little fun and a little energy come in. It will shift everything for you. This is more than just, like I said, shifting our behavior. We're not faking it. This is a real rewiring of our nervous system when we utilize our whole body to recognize that we're in control of our energy. Okay. And I want to kind of end with this little bit of a story. Okay. So, it was last year actually. I was heading to a training in Dallas and got up and went to the airport. I think I was there at maybe 7:30 for my flight. My wife dropped me off. I'm heading up the escalator and I get a text, like we all do, flight delayed. And my wife was lovingly enough willing to come back and pick me up. And as we're driving home, I'm getting text after text every 7, 8, 10 minutes. And it is just later and later and later until it's fully canceled. So now I'm on the phone with the airline trying to figure it out. And they say, okay, well, we have a flight that takes you to Houston. And I was like, oh, okay, wonderful. And, but what time does it leave? And it left late at night. I'm like, oh, shoot. I think I got to Houston at about midnight. I think it might have been midnight. And get to the rental car place and they don't have my car. So now I'm waiting in line, getting all that. I don't think I left Houston until about 1:00 in the morning. And I'm looking up right now how far that is because I can't really remember. About 4 hours, three and a half hours. And so I remember getting to my hotel room at 4 a.m, and I had a training at 8 o'clock in the morning, which usually means I'm there at 7:15, which means, getting up at 6 o'clock. So I distinctly remember sleeping 2 hours. And to start off the training, I, told them all about how fun my trip there was. And the person after came up to me and she said, "How are you so energetic after those 2 hours of sleep? If I don't have a good night's sleep, I have a horrible day and I am tired and all these things." And the answer was really simple. It's a choice, right? I chose knowing that I had the capacity, even on those 2 hours, for that 7 hour day that I trained to truly bring enthusiasm, joy, energy. That's what that group needed from me. So in the morning, I get up, I do my power walks, I do my movements, I do something we're going to do in a later podcast. And you set yourself and you're like, I'm there and I'm energetic and I'm ready. And so it's a choice, right? They needed the best from me and I gave it to them, right? I think as leaders, everyone needs our best. Everyone needs our energy. Everyone needs our fullest contributions all around our lives. And that's what we have the ability to do. So our kids, our spouses, our teams, our leaders, our communities, everybody, they need the best version of us. And the best version of us has energy, has passion behind it. And I want you to remember that it's a choice to bring that out. And I'm telling you right now, you shift your energy and you will shift your life 100%. So thank you so much for being here again. My name is Ryan Bouda. This is the Leap Leadership Institute podcast. It's such a pleasure. Please subscribe, rate, review, all those things. Hey, if you have some thoughts, if you have some experiences with energy and shifting, and sometimes it's hard, whatever it is, I want you to take a moment. Put them in the chat, message me, do something. I'd love to interact. That is part of this. As I said, my passion to help everyone live their most fulfilling, satisfying lives. And we're going to do that through the work in this podcast here. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bring that energy, bring who you are, be the best version, shift your energy, shift your life. Thank you guys.